Buenos días. Hablo un poquito español. I learned how to say quiero una cerveza, quiero una cerveza, ¿de dónde está el baño? About as good as it gets. I will say I'm happy to be here in sunny Syracuse, or to be away from sunny Syracuse, in sunny San Juan. And I thought, a couple of minutes ago, I just did a quick little test to see. It's 15 degrees in Syracuse, 75 degrees here, and I'm happy about that. Even though I'm only in San Juan for about 15 hours. I got in late last night and I have to fly back shortly after my presentation today. And I always thought that I'd come to San Juan. It was my lifelong dream to go to the Bacardi factory. I think I'm part of that. If you don't believe me, if you just look at my screen name, you'll see that I am Bacardi Rubin. So if you ever want to get a hold of me, that should be easy to remember for all of you, but unfortunately I won't get a chance to go to the factory this time around. Alright, today I'm going to cover two topics. The first being information architecture, which relates not only to virtual reference websites, but really websites in general. And then I'm going to switch gears and talk about web metrics, or log analysis, depending on how you want to refer to it, which is really analyzing users' behavior in digital reference. There's a lot of definitions on information architecture. In fact, at Syracuse University in my department, there are 3 faculty members that teach courses in information architecture, but yet they all are slightly different. Because there's web-based information architecture, which is what I'm really referring to. There's information architecture where you can get into XML and actually the makeup of the information. But what I'm really referring to is trying to figure out how do we effectively design and implement a website strategy. And what's the problem? The problem that I see is that over the years, and it's hard to believe that the web as we know it is about 10 years old. I think of 1994, 1995 as kind of the inception of when consumers started using the web. It's about 10 years old. But the problem is that people still have the mentality that website design is simplistic, and that anybody with FrontPage or Dreamweaver can put together a successful website. And what's happened is that web pages have grown from 10 pages 10 years ago to thousands and thousands of pages just 10 years later. All right, not just pages anymore, but images, sounds, videos, PDF files. So the question becomes, how do you design an effective website for your audience? And who is your audience? The problem is in reference desks or libraries or universities. I'm from Syracuse University. When I think of our audiences, we have to think of prospective students, current students, faculty, staff, community members, fans of our athletic program, alumni, donors. All right, so right there at the top of my head, that's 8 different audiences, many of which you have as well. If you went to any advertising firm in the world and said, can you build me a design that's going to tailor to these 8 audiences, which range from 15 or 16-year-old teens, as Buff was referring to people who may be passing away tomorrow in their deathbeds, and we want their money. Okay? The advertising firm would laugh at you. But yet somehow we're trying to do that at our universities and our library websites to design this one site that's all encompassing for all the different audiences. You can't do it. So I think what we're beginning to see is the use of subsites, where we're segmenting various audiences or targeting different audiences. CNN was probably the first to do it. They did it very early on. All right, CNN is a very deep architecture, but if you ever go to CNN.com, you rarely get lost. All right, they probably have more content than anybody out there, but you don't get lost when you're on their site. And so what they did is they said, all right, well, we have a whole section on money or finance. And so when somebody clicks on the financing link, we're going to take them to a sub-site called money.cnn.com. And when someone clicks on sports, which is such a broad area, we're going to bring them to sports.cnn.com. What I'm trying to get at with this is you're beginning to see it in universities and libraries, is why just have